And it is the big political story that we're tracking today, a day after the results for the Jammu, Kashmir and Jharkhand assembly polls have been declared. Political parties are gearing up to decide on their future course of action. With the hung assembly in Jammu and Kashmir, the BJP has emerged as the second largest party. That party will of course be meeting today to decide on the various options that it has at this point in time. After the feelers from the PDP over the possibility of a tie-up, the party's parliamentary board will meet to deliberate over various permutations and combinations. Soon after the results, PDP's Mehbooba Mufti held a press conference where she spoke about the need for forming a government that works in the agenda of good governance. But the option of a tie-up with the National Conference cannot be ruled out either, especially after Omar Abdullah categorically said that he is not shutting down any options of an alliance in the state. All right, Deputy Editor Smita Sharma now joins me live from Srinagar. Smita, as expected, it has been a hung verdict. The vote in Jammu and Kashmir has been split 4 ways. Hectic parlays, backroom talks underway for the next 48 hours or so. What are we expected to see happen? What are you picking up from the ground?
Rishika, all I can say is politics makes for strange bedfellows, and particularly here in the valley, where over the last 48 hours we have really seen the tone and tenor of leaders change in a lot of ways. Remember, Omar Abdullah in that press conference just on the eve of the poll results, there he came out, he almost sounded like he had conceded defeat, categorically also saying that any sort of an alliance with the BJP is inconceivable given their very, very different positions on issues which are very sensitive to the valley, including 370 Uniform Civil Code, or even that Ram Janmabhoomi issue, or the silence of the Prime Minister on the controversy of conversions. But having said that, by yesterday evening when Omar saw that his numbers were remarkably much better than what were being given to him by these polls, he had changed his tone and tenor, and he actually mentioned it to all those interviews to TV Today Network that in democracy, if you bag on too much to ideology, there are a lot of perils involved. And remember, this is one state where even with 16 MLAs, the National Conference was able to form a government last time around. So clearly a lot of the action will move to Jammu really. Omar Abdullah flying to Jammu today, will be submitting his resignation to Governor N.N. Vora. He's also expected in fact to fly to the UK to see his parents in a day or two. Similarly with the Muftis who have been completely tight-lipped. Mufti Muhammad Said Saab in fact hasn't even come out and said hello to the media. But they have been continuously holding all sorts of meetings with their MLAs who do seem to be of course divided as far as that possible alliance with the BJP is concerned. And BJP meanwhile of course strategizing in Jammu.
Well, absolutely. The BJP is in a huddle in the national capital as well. There is a parliamentary board meeting that is likely, to take place today to determine the future course of action. But, Smita, at this point in time, really, considering the fact that the vote has been split 4 ways, there are all kinds of permutations and combinations that are open, and we can't really rule out any of the possibilities at this point in time.
Well, clearly, some of the options that people will be weighing in is if they do a tie-up with the BJP either ways, whether it's the NC or whether it's the PDP, what do they stand to lose or what do they stand to gain? Remember, ideologically, they're very different parties. While the PDP has a self-rule, a sort of an aspiration, BJP is the one that has been asking for the abrogation of 370 as a junior partner. Maybe NC will not be armed twist the BJP as much, but PDP as a senior partner might not want the BJP to harp on issues like a valley, a deputy CM from the Jammu. These are all issues that they'll have to really decide and also see that in the long term, maybe their cadres do not get affected by these kind of alliances.
Well, absolutely. The cadres should definitely not get affected by any of the post-poll alliances. Smita Sharma is going to continue to track developments for us from what appears to be a very cold Srinagar. Thanks, Smita, for joining us so early this morning. Stay warm and we'll keep coming back to you.